What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day once more. I'm having one of the best time ever in some very interesting place up the mountains. But I've received a lot of message coming from you guys asking me to make a comment about the French president's recent bold move. The French president has asked the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, to be part of BRICS summit that will take place in South Africa in August. Yes. He has asked very openly, I would like to be part of this summit and come and attend on a phone call with President Cyril Ramaphosa. Very interesting, right? So we're going to find out. So they say, according to the French media report, French President Emmanuel Macron has asked South African President Cyril Ramaphosa for an invitation to the BRICS summit scheduled for August. Yeah, so this is what's happening. They have indeed asked for an invitation to be part of the summit in August in South Africa. It's very interesting. I mean, we all know the position of France with what goes with Russia, and knowing that Russia is part of BRICS, one big element of BRICS, how can France have the guts and the courage to be even asking for an invitation to be part of BRICS? Very interesting, right? Very intriguing indeed. Obviously, Russia has replied. Russia has said something about it. They wouldn't go quiet. So they say Moscow has asked Paris to provide an explanation. Do they want to establish some kind of contact once again in order to show the activity of Paris? Or is it some kind of Trojan horse? Is it a trap? Okay, so Moscow is very adamant. Why do you want to be part of this? Because seemingly you guys are part of the other side. You are NATO, you are G20, whatever G you are. Why do you want to be part of this? No. Can you explain to us? Is this because you want to establish contact again? Or are you trying to play games? You want to be funny and interesting and malicious? So the Russians say Paris should explain to Moscow the purpose and the reason of the visit of the French President Emmanuel Macron to the BRICS summit, which will be held in South Africa on August 22 to 24th. This was stated by official representative of the Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zarakova. It would be nice if they would tell us why they want to attend BRICS. Do they want to establish some kind of contact again in order to show activity of Paris, or it is some kind of Trojan horse they're trying to play? So fellas, this is very interesting. We're living in one of the most craziest moments ever of the landscape of the world. Everybody, as you know, have planned very hard to create BRICS in order to try to avoid the sanctions coming from the United States that have been very recurrent. So it's very simple. If you're being sanctioned all the time for some reason, if you're being punished all the time for doing something, if you're being threatened to be thrown out every time you say something, what do? You find ways, in case you're thrown out, where you're going to be. You find ways to establish alternative ways of operating. So if let's say you stay at your friend's house and your friend all the time said to you, if you come late, I'm going to throw you out. If you don't wash the dishes, I'm going to throw you out. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to throw you out. And you knowingly, you don't have anywhere else to go. What do? You're going to find a way to actually find a place to go in case he ever decides to throw you out for real, right? And this is exactly what most countries have done. Many countries have been subjected to sanctions coming from the United States for many years. We can count Zimbabwe, we can count Cuba, we can count Venezuela, Iran, we can count North Korea, many countries, Russia, China in many other ways. So in some ways, when you threaten people all the time, you become some sort of a bully, and people find ways to contour what you're trying to do against them. Okay, if you provide them with finances, they're going to try to find alternative ways to make their finances so they don't suffer in case one day you decide to stop providing what you provide. So this is exactly what happened with BRICS. BRICS, obviously, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now many other countries have shown interest to be part of BRICS. Many different countries. Saudi Arabia want to come, Qatar want to come, Algeria want to come, Nigeria want to come. Many countries want to be part of BRICS now. They want to be part of the winning. Just remember that France doesn't have a lot of goods. Okay, France doesn't have a lot of minerals. France have survived for many, many years with things they've done in Africa. They've done a tremendous work of colonialism in French-speaking African countries that still pay up to today tax to the French Republic. Yeah, tax for colonization. So you guys, we colonized you for many years. We beat you up. We taught you how to eat with your knives and forks. We taught you how to dress up properly. So we taught you how to speak French. So now you're going to have to pay tax every year. So most of these countries, Ivory Coast, Gabon, Cameroon, Senegal, Guinea, many of these countries pay tax to France every year. That's shameful. And their reserve bank, and these countries' reserve bank are situated in France. So their money is printed in France. That's the level of it. So France, it is in its best of interest to try to find alternative ways. So what does this mean? Remember just a while back, France had also been very bold. The French president went to China while Russia and Ukraine was at war. He said very openly that Europeans should free themselves of choices of America. So Europe should make its own choice and not become a follower of America. Yeah, he received a lot of backlash. A lot of people were not very happy about it. A lot of politicians in the United States spoke a lot of things about that and condemned the French president for saying that. It was very bold. Europeans should be independent. Europeans should make their own choices, because in some ways, he probably realized that, you know what, we're being pushed into a war that doesn't necessarily belong to us. This is a war between America and Russia. We are being proxies, used as proxies in this war. Is this a different move from the French president? Or is he coming to realization that he needs to make his own politics work? He needs to create his own ways of survival. Guys, BRICS is here to stay. They are very strong. And trust me, if the French president is looking for a way, pass to come into BRICS summit in South Africa, it means they realize how strong this is. And many people, as you know, in Africa and all over the world, are very slowly beginning to throw out the dollars. They're trying to find ways to commerce, to exchange, to sell, to transact without necessarily passing through the dollar, which has been for many years the world currency. People have had enough. It's very clear. Now they're trying to find other ways to operate. What do you think of this move? Is France genuinely looking to change face? Is France genuinely looking to be the good guy? Or are they trying just to find an alternative, a Trojan, like say Russians, just a trap in order to stick their fingers in things they shouldn't be sticking their fingers into? What do you think of this? I'm very interested to know your take on this. So French president asked President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa on a phone call if he could give him a pass or an invitation to South Africa. Yes, the host country has the right to choose whoever they invite. So Cyril Ramaphosa can say, you know what, Emmanuel Macron, you can come, or you can say no. Let me just remind you, I don't understand why people want to stick their nose into things that don't concern them. A while back, there was representative from Israel that came to a reunion of African Union. There was a meeting of African Union, and representative of Israel came to the African Union saying they want to be observers of the African Union meetings. And yeah, they were kicked out very quickly. They were kicked out of the meeting. They say, you have no part of this. This is none of your business. You don't have to be here. We don't need you here. There's no African nation that is observer in Europe or in Israel. It's just fair. You cannot come here and say you want to be observer so we can give you a seat to sit in our meeting. This is an African meeting. So we don't want you. We can do this all by ourselves. And obviously, Israel accused a few countries of being anti-Israel, accusing South Africa and many other countries. So props to people that want independence. Props to people that want to make things work for themselves. Once more, I want to know from you guys. Do you think this is a good move from French president? Does this mean that they understand that things are falling? They're not going to stand back anymore? Do they understand that BRICS is here to stay? Or do you think the French president is genuinely trying to change camps? Let me know how you feel about this. God bless.